The underground has never been so fried. What's going on, y'all? It's Flexxico 2X is here, man. This might be the top 3 worst days in underground history. Just as I'm recording this, Lucky's home has reportedly been burglarized. So first it was blood, now they hit Lucky shit. He's apparently okay. It happened when he wasn't at home, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about the I Love Kimchi, OOGIEMANE, and Tezzus situation. Now, a lot has happened in the course of 24 hours, starting with you guys are probably more than aware of what happened, but long story short, I Love You Kimchi was reportedly allegedly dating OOGIEMANE. They were together, right, for some time, both in the Working on Dying collective, a legendary producer collective, and we're going to get into all that here shortly. But long story short, some pictures had surfaced yesterday, some lewd photos of her with rising underground artist Tezzus out of Atlanta, who is now signed to Young Stoner Life Records. Through a couple shows with the guy, I've been covering him for over or about almost 2 years now. You guys know who that is as well by now. He doesn't really need an introduction. But yeah, someone had apparently hacked her iCloud and leaked some very provocative photos that we will not be showing here. Um, but yeah, they circled, and the internet does what it does best and amplified the fuck out of it. And yeah, because of that, everyone started coming after OOGIEMANE for it, because they're like, "Oh, your girl's tripping, bro." Like, damn, he was getting some slander. But yeah, man, let's just start here. Let me give you an introduction for who these people are, for people that might not know, if you have been living under a rock, who these people are. Okay, starting with OOGIEMANE. Now, a lot of people know OOGIEMANE for producing Myron by Lil Uzi Vert. Um, I've been listening to OOGIEMANE's production for over 10 years, right? I mainly know him from doing work with Chapo, Mad Ox, Black Cray, and members of Goth Money Records. Again, he is the brother of Filthy, who was also in the Working on Dying collective. This collective was actually formed in 2012 by Filthy and OOGIEMANE, so that's who the collective started off with. Jordan Ortiz, known professionally as OOGIEMANE and styled as OOGIEMANE, is a Philadelphia-based producer in the Working on Dying collective. Around 2012, Oogie began producing after being motivated by fellow member and older brother Filthy, utilizing Fruity Loops as his main production software. He frequently collaborated with Philadelphia artists such as those in Five Finger Posse. That's another group of artists that I really enjoyed back in the day. And, they kind of coined the, Filthy OOGIEMANE, Forza. They kind of coined the tread era with like those type of beats. They're like pretty fast beats, and the 808s, things like that. It was a very peculiar genre of production that goes back as far as like 2015. He's also worked with Wi-Fi God, Disney Santana, other members of Goth Money Records, and yeah, those are some of his favorite artists as well. So that's who OOGIEMANE is, for those that didn't really know too much about him. As you can even see here, some songs that he produced. He even got a Drake placement. I'm upset, which was really dope to see. Jumbotron shit popping as well by Drake, of course, by Lil Uzi Vert. What a lot of the youngins know, a lot of the youngins got to the Lil Uzi's Pink Tape era. Eternal Take placements. But yeah, no, OOGIEMANE has been around for a while and has solidified himself as one of the top producers, top generational producers of, the underground scene. All right, now getting on to and into I Love You Kimchi. So I Love You Kimchi, Nalita Yu, sorry, known professionally as I Love You Kimchi, or simply known as Kimchi, is a producer, singer, songwriter, and model residing from California. She is one of the official members of the Working on Dying production group and is known for producing for a wide variety of artists such as Ken Carson, Ski Mask, The Slump God, Zillakami, and the late Lil Keed. Kimchi would also begin her solo music career back in 2022 with the release of her debut single, Down, on May 28th. Slowly building up her catalog of music, Kimchi would go on to release her debut studio album, Agony, September 27, 2023, with the B-side EP being released 2 months later, consisting of demos. And she had just also recently released her project I Love You Kimchi, an album. So you can see some of her placements here. You know, we got some Denzel Curry placements, Ski Mask, Slump God, Ken Carson. Yeah. Oh, even young Chris, for those that might not know. How did she get into working on dying, you may ask, and what is her connection to OOGIEMANE? Well, in this article by 1202 Mag, what was the date on this? This was, let's see, this was November 5th. I don't know if this was like maybe of this year. But anyhow, so this is how she joined or how she got into working on dying. Again, working on dying is a collective that started way back in 2012. She didn't get into the picture until about 8 years later, right? So so they ask her, tell me the story of how you joined working on dying and working alongside the rest of the collective. She says, basically in 2020, I just DM'd Oogie and I was like, hey, I have loops for you. And then we ended up linking up in the studio and made hella beats together. Then after I was working with him for like months, Ness, the manager of Working on Dying, was just like, do you want to be in Working on Dying? And everyone's so chill. It's like a family. Now, there's not any kind of record on them dating that we can see. Like there isn't any really instance of us knowing that they were together or how they ended up being together. But we really didn't know that for a fact until about between yesterday and today when people started putting pieces together. Took me a little bit of digging, but yeah, this is a tweet that got brought back up after the whole situation unfolded, with people pointing to, oh, OOGIEMANE and Kimchi were actually dating, because she had tweeted, both of these tweets are gone now, but she had tweeted, I missed my boyfriend back in May, a couple months ago, and OOGIEMANE had said, I miss you too, like he quoted it. So that was our confirmation that they were indeed together. So now the Tezzus connection. So we see photos from as early as February surfacing of Tezzus and Kimchi together. One could only assume, you know, they're probably together just making music because, you know, I Love You Kimchi is a producer, right? So we see, you know, some photos. It looks like they're together there, just hanging out. We even have them wearing matching fits in front of the Oway sign. I've actually taken a picture myself in front of that Oway sign in the at Oway headquarters back in Atlanta. So yeah, there's another video that surfaced. I'm just gonna show you guys the instances of them together, but apparently, you know, this was due to them actually making music together because Tezzus was getting ready to drop his project, The Resurrection, which is it's a great project. It's kind of like a Lil Wayne's dedication where he kind of just remixes and goes over other like viral songs, like instrumentals. Tezzus did the same thing here, and they have a song together that even I had made a post about. I had posted this thread here with all the samples, and this, not the Katy Perry one, but it was this one. It was a sample of The Help. There's track Stunned in 2024 that was actually produced by just I Love You Kimchi. I actually got this wrong because of Rap Genius. Project Foreplay didn't produce that, but she had even clarified that here. She made that beat alone. So yeah, it kind of just made sense. You know, they got together, you know, and they're just making music until the photos leaked yesterday, which again, I'm not going to show those on the stream. I'm not sorry, this video. More than likely you guys have already seen it. It's pretty bad, you know. It's like like she's like with Tezzus, it looks like they're not wearing clothes. She has some obscurities on her face. You guys can kind of point the direction that I'm going with that. I just kind of want to explain it just to at least give context of how severe and bad it was. There's like another picture of her like in the bed with Tezzus like embracing her. They were clearly like unclothed, and then there's another photo which I should be able to show this photo because it's not bad, but they were pretty much just laid up together. um so here's one of the pictures of them laid up together, and yeah, guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. Um, you know, again, because if you think about it, if OOGIEMANE and her were dating as far back as like May, they're probably dating even longer than that. Some people even said they were living together, and we're gonna get into all that in a second and when OOGIEMANE comes into play. But yeah, this is along the photo set that was leaked by a hacker. Someone had actually hacked her iCloud and found all these photos and then posted it to the internet yesterday. So that is where everything went left. Oh, I forgot another video I might add. Here's another video too, of Tezzus and Kimchi together on a Funk TV episode around the time where they were essentially linking up together. Yeah, not gonna lie, guys, this is just, yeah, I can just, yeah, guys, it's bad. All right, it's just all bad. And wow, just want to tease the page, and there's actually another update, but we're gonna get into that in a second as I'm recording this. But yeah, let's try to catch up to it. All right, let's try to catch up to it. So Kimchi's response to all this was simply, "I miss my granny." Okay, yeah, that is a reference to an Offset post. When Offset was caught cheating, there was he posted something along the lines of, "I miss my granny as well." So Cardi B had posted a picture. Wait, this is like this is like 3 years ago. But Cardi B had posted a picture saying, "I miss my granny," and Offset did the same thing. This is when he allegedly got caught cheating a few years ago, and Cardi B said the same words yesterday. Oh, sorry. So this is newer. But anyways, so yeah, this is a post that Offset made when he got caught cheating, and that's a scandal from years ago that a lot of people remember. So yeah, she said this, and people were not happy, man. As you can see, they're like egging it on. It was just bad. Addressed the elephant in the room. It was bad, man. It was just like probably the worst way to kind of even go about this, to a lot of people's eyes. But that was her response, and this was Tezzus' response, with the emoji face, right? I'm showing these because it's all going to come back into play here in a second. So yeah, that's pretty much where that left off from yesterday's events. She was she made a couple posts and deleted them, and I'm gonna pull those up here real quick before we get into what happened today. So she had posted this and then deleted it, right? So she said, this was yesterday. She said, "I know a lot of people have already made up their minds about me. You saw a few photos and filled in the rest yourselves. None of you know the timeline of my relationship, what was happening privately, or the conversations that happened behind closed doors. I'm not asking anyone to excuse my mistakes, but I'm asking people to stop pretending they know my life from a handful of leaked images. What's happened over the last few hours has been one of the most humiliating experiences of my life. Private, intimate photos that were never meant to be public were stolen and spread across the internet. Whatever you think of me, I hope you can recognize that nobody deserves that. I'm going to take accountability for the people I've hurt privately. Please stop harassing everyone involved." And that was in regard to OOGIEMANE, because then everyone started blowing up his mentions, responding to his old tweets and saying like, "Yo, like your girl's going, bro." Like there's, saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff, right? So this was kind of like her addressing everybody after what had happened. So things got a little bit worse because there was a snippet that Tezzus previewed on live yesterday as well, allegedly dissing OOGIEMANE, right? So I guess we're just gonna play a little bit of it, but here it is. I'm fucking that little nigga slut. So yeah, so that really didn't help the situation at all, and yeah, it just made things even worse. With even Forza chiming in from the Working on Dying Collective, another generational producer from my time. He even said, "Man, keep that shit." So you even had Forza himself chiming in on the situation. So fast forward till today, right? Kimchi actually comes out and makes another post about the situation, and she goes, Even though what I did was terrible and I'm a whore and all that y'all are still disgusting weirdos for hacking me and spreading unconsensual nudes and pictures that were never supposed to be public. Two things can be true. Then she says, proof I was hacked. So this is a screenshot of someone, I guess, that had texted her, and it looks like it might be like a nude here. That's been censored. Hi, I have acquired 86 images, videos of sensitive material containing career damaging actions. Attached as a sample. Let me know if you are willing to resolve this. So yeah. And guys, this is very bad, man. You know, hacking people's private stuff it's not good. You know, it's not good, and nobody should be doing that. But you know, here we are, and everything's unfolding as we speak. And I forgot one piece of information from yesterday too. OOGIEMANE had actually then publicly denounced any type of relationship with I Love You Kimchi, saying me and her aren't together anymore. I'm good. Stop hitting me up, please. So now we're at the point, you know, Kimchi and OOGIEMANE are no longer dating. He's denounced her. Um, you know, the Tezzus this is out. Kimchi is saying, like, you know, she's saying her piece. But this is where things get a little more serious, right? Tezzus had then took it to himself to tweet some of his thoughts and actions and why he made the diss in the first place. Because I'm assuming he was under a lot of scrutiny from, you know, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of Tezzus fans and OA fans, but there are a lot of OOGIEMANE and Working on Dying fans as well, right? So I'm sure, you know, he was seeing a lot of negative pushback from his diss, and you know, again, like Forza even chimed in on the diss, and so yeah, so this is what these tweets are now deleted. But these are some of the few tweets that Tezzus had made, which kind of, you know, we had now a little bit some more serious allegations going, but this is what Tezzus had tweeted. So he said, sorry. He said, I wouldn't have made a song if she ain't text me. He hit her. Oh, way protected people. My music is my diary. Sorry, I'm not sorry. My dark, beautiful mind got me rich. So here he is saying that, you know, I Love You Kimchi apparently had told him that OOGIEMANE beat her and was, you know, like was physically abusing her, right? Which is pretty serious, man, you know. Those allegations are nothing to play with. But yeah, so Tezzus is telling us what she told him, allegedly, right? He then also says, I done everything in the book as a gangster. I robbed, I killed, I came from nothing, but I never hurt kids or a woman. All right. So those tweets are deleted, but I remember reading some of the replies under that, right? So people were kind of questioning Tezzus, his integrity as well, but just because of the people that he's around. A lot of people were mentioning Ian Connor, and you know, he has quite a load of things revolving around his name in the space. And so people were saying like, "Oh, well, you're like you're saying that, like, you know, you're doing these good deeds, I guess, like, but you're around that guy who has that stuff in his closet." So like that's kind of what led him to tweet this next tweet that's also gone now as well. So he says, oh wow, I'm gonna have to block that word out in post. Then he said, let Ian, talking about Ian Connor, let Ian go to jail for hurting a woman or a bitch. Come to me with bruises on her. I'ma kill him. And then this guy says, you know, he has like 30 R allegations. Tezzus then says, bro, that nigga would be in jail like Diddy and Bill Cosby, Jeffrey Epstein. Nigga, wake up. So pretty much doubling down that Ian didn't do anything wrong. But again, that is what he tweeted, and now these tweets are gone. So then Tezzus went as far as sending or showing a screenshot of sorry. He showed a screenshot of his conversation with Kimchi, and it looks like, you know, she was planning on trying to cover her tracks a little bit by saying those pictures were AI, right? So she's saying, so he says, you can kind of see here, he says, you gonna look dumb AF. How they something. And she says, AI, they look kind of fake. I'm about to say they're AI. Then Tezzus goes, you gonna cook yourself, bae. She says, I don't know what else to do. I don't even remember taking all those pics. Like, what the fuck was I on? And so this is in response to his little emoji that he tweeted as the things were coming out that we looked at earlier. She goes, congrats, you got what you wanted. I'm about to end my shit. Got beat up so bad I have to drop out of a festival. So she's telling Tezzus that OOGIEMANE allegedly beat her up. And then he said, why would that be what I want? I wish none but the best for you, gang. So she says, you clearly don't give a fuck, tweeting emojis and shit and beefing it with Filthy and Fritz. Fritz is another producer as well who works with Cardi. It's going to be my death on your hands, which is also very crazy to say. Like putting that on Tezzus for something that, you know, you did, right? I don't really like that at all. But even here, this is another very interesting, it's kind of funny. A lot of people are bringing this up, but he says, you can kind of see, it says, come to Miami, get away from that shit. You can kind of see there. So yeah, so Tezzus said that, and the internet just started blowing the fuck up after that, man. They started going crazy and shit, because now it's what it's looking like is Tezzus put his hands on kimchi, right? So now that just opens a whole other can of worms. You know, those allegations are some of the worst that you can get outside of, like, you know, the other allegations, but those are like the worst, right? Like a man putting his hands on a woman is never okay. You know, guys, but yeah, that those are some pretty serious accusations to make, right? So OOGIEMANE comes to his offense immediately, right? And he says, I never did that, weirdo. This was in response to another content creator that was making a video about the situation. So he says, I never did that, weirdo. Don't ever put that next to my name in regards to those allegations, right? Now, this is where things get even crazier, right? Because then after she told Tezzus that, she did get hands put on her, she backtracks and says, he never hit me. So now it seems she's like lying, or, you know, like she capped and now is saying he didn't put her hands on her, because this is a quote to Tweez's old tweet. Then she said, which, like, it's just so bad, man. It's just so bad. I lied to you to make you feel bad. It was just a fight. So now, you know, we got false allegations getting thrown out. You know, it looks like Kimchi's trying to cover her tracks. And yeah, man, it's just really bad, okay? Now it gets even crazier, okay? It gets even crazier because she ends up going on Instagram Live just today. This all happened in the span of a couple hours. She goes live on Instagram Live. Oh, before we look at the Instagram Live, forgot to mention this too. This was another tweet that she made from yesterday that also got deleted. You would have thought I killed someone, but no, I cheated on a guy once who cheated on me twice while I held him down, completely loyal for years. Yes, it's wrong, but there's a nuance. Yeah, I'm stupid for taking pics, but hacking people's phones to leak their nudes is illegal for a reason. Sorry, forgot to add that in. So this is an Instagram Live where she is with OOGIEMANE, and it looks like in the same crib. This is where people assume they were like staying together, and this all happened just a couple hours ago. But here is the Instagram Live of her pretty much saying and doubling down that she actually did not get hurt by OOGIEMANE, and he never put her hands on her.
Talking about, you said that you couldn't perform because you're so beaten up so badly. I want you to go live and show people that you're not beaten up.
Okay, guys, look.
So that's OOGIEMANE in the background.
I'm not beaten up. There's no marks on me anywhere. I'm just a liar. Like, Oogie never beat me up. Ever. He never ever put hands on me.
Yikes. Fucking yikes, guys. Yikes. So these haven't got deleted yet. I took screenshots though, just in case. But here's the screenshot. Let me open the screenshot because I can't really see some of the replies, but so now she's, guys, like this is blowing my mind. So now she's coming back and saying to people on Twitter, after just denouncing that OOGIEMANE had ever put hands on her, now she's turning back around and saying, yes, he did essentially put hands on me. And she says, listen, we fought and he hit and choked me, which I deserved. Yes, I exaggerated saying I was going to drop out of a festival, but that still happened, bro. He forces me to go live and forces me to make a tweet saying I'm a liar, but I'm not. So someone says, so did he put hands on you or not? You've said different things 3 times. He did, but I'm not beat up badly, like it was just a slap and choked me out a bit. So this person says, so why did you say he didn't hit you? It seemed like you changed your story multiple times. Stay consistent with your story. So here's the tweet right here. She says, because he was right next to me yelling at me to tweet that immediately. And then so people are saying like, so then he said, show proof. You said you got beat up so bad you had to drop out of the festival. So there's got to be some marks, nigga. Can't blame me for not trusting you when you've been lying and changing your stories. So now people are like, okay, you know, did Oogie actually do it and he told her to say these things to clear her name? We really don't know, guys. Like, we really don't know. You know, we have no idea. But things even got a little more strange because there was some unrelated things to the situation. People were bringing up like old DM conversations of her talking to, apparently, to this 15-year-old selling some sort of like, you know, provocative material, you know, things that like a typically things that an OnlyFans girl would do or sell. Yeah, so like there's like conversations of that even leaking, and she's telling people, you know, apparently that it wasn't that, like, she didn't do that. She never received anything. I mean, the conversation apparently is real, but in the conversation, she finds out that the kid is 15 and then she stops messaging him. But still a pretty strange case to bring up. This isn't really related to the video, but this is all the stuff that happened today. All right, well, good thing I screenshotted this. You know, that moment that I told you guys that just happened. I went ahead and snagged that, but Tezzus had just tweeted not even like a couple or like almost an hour ago. He posted another screenshot of Kimchi's a conversation with him and Kimchi just an hour ago as I'm making this video. So she's unsending messages, and then she says, call me. He says, fuck you. It's kind of funny, sorry. And then so now she's telling Tezzus, like, hey, no, he did hit me and choke me, okay? I didn't lie. I'm just still with him. Yes, I exaggerated about dropping out of the festival, but that shit did happen. I don't give a fuck no more. I want him to kill me, but he won't. And Tina's just like, yo, like, what the fuck? Like, puts a whole bunch of question marks down. So, yeah, guys, that is where we're at now. You know, something about the underground, man, it's just, man, I've been seeing things like this happen for so long. We are at the point now where a lot of these things get amplified online. People start lying. You don't know what's real and what's not. Diss tracks come out of it. People from other camps start getting involved. People start to try to clear their name and then maybe even change their story up here and there. this whole situation is honestly just a fucking mess, man. It's a mess, and I really enjoy, I enjoy Tezzus music. I enjoy OOGIEMANE's music. I have been for the last 10 years. When are we gonna just stick to the music, man? But at the same time, um, there's kind of that silver lining, right? It's I mean, if you're in a relationship, ideally it's not a good idea to cheat, let alone document yourself doing that. Um, I'm not saying people's information and like photos and things like that aren't safe because the technology is there, to keep everyone's moments private. But you never know, man. You never know. We the underground scene is filled with leakers who try to hack artists all the time. We've seen it happen with Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi Vert, tons of artists in the last like 10, 11, 12 years. There's always going to be that one bad apple that just wants to get access to things. We've seen Cardi's whole iCloud get leaked like a couple months ago. It's just like when will it end, man? When will it end? There's nothing else going on about this situation. That is like the last thing that I have seen that happened live. So, yeah, man. Like when will it end, man? Like I don't know. I don't know, man. It's a pretty unfortunate situation, but hopefully the artists can just get back to the music, man, because at the end of the day, that's all we really want to hear, man. That's what we really want to see. The underground scene nowadays, man, it just feels like it's cooked. The fan bases they're like young. They're it's a lot of brain rot and shit that kind of like fucks with their heads, and a lot of things get blown out of proportion, and it just gets people riled up. Everyone just gets riled up and emotions start flying around, and yeah, man. So unfortunately, that's where we're at today. But again, I hope we can just let's just stick to the music, guys. I know this might have been all over the place. I appreciate everybody that's been tapping into the channel. I just did a video on a little segment from Tyler the Creator. I'm still working on my Dash video as well too. And a lot of good things coming, man. I'm gonna keep at it, covering what I can to the best of my ability. And yeah, my platform's growing on a daily basis, right? We've hit 12K on Twitter. And I'm also working on getting my Instagram back as well. But yeah, you can follow my temporary Instagram right here. It's GoYardGlocks. All the rest of my socials are right there, and all the links are in the description. If you like what you saw, man, like and subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think about all this, man. I like to I'd more so like to read people's takes under like my comments as opposed to just guys with random PFPs on Twitter. It's just always a lot of negative energy over there, man. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And yeah, tap into the streams. I'm actually gonna be going live after this. So yeah, I appreciate everybody for making it this far. If you did, this is Flexxico 2X's. Peace.